Stupidity is not surprising to me.
No.
But what's surprising is like looking directly at the camera, which Diggs does.
It's one thing to act a fool with your friends or to do that in some setting, and it does not surprise me that Stefon Diggs is doing that. Hutton, what does surprise me is that he clearly...
The photo of Stefon Diggs compared to that of the Giants, it's just not the same. With Odell Beckham Jr. and the crew, it's just not as iconic yet. Here's the old school version. And I'm not sure why, considering we have video this time.
Well, this is the photographic example of, dudes being dudes on a boat.
Yes.
Gandy Sandberg. And then you've got video evidence of Stefon Diggs being a dude on a boat and a lot more happening with it.
And all three, I say all three, there was plenty of players there, but here I thought there were going to be two. 3 women in the photo, plus on the screenshot, Stefon Diggs.
Not seeing this photo, that is seeing the video, are probably 2 to 7 more women.
Well said.
And when they pan back on the boat and show everyone else, it's not just these 3.
Everyone in both of these instances know that the camera's out.
Yes.
That's the thing that really just stuns me in this. One was posed, one's not. And then Cardi B's involved in all of this. Cardi B's new boyfriend.
Oh, my gosh. If you want to talk about, two guys who are out of the rap game currently and what's happening in the rap game, I was at my daughter's softball camp, and another one of the dads who watches the show was asking me my thoughts on it. And he said, hey, Stefon Diggs' girlfriend is that female rapper. And I was like, Aquafina? Who are we talking about? Iggy Azalea?
Lil' Kim?
I was going back to 2012, like the Australian model Iggy Azalea. And then he said, no,
Queen Bee?
Oh gosh. The description was like, the one who raps really fast.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was like, big ass. And I'm like, you're really narrowing it down for me. Megan Thee Stallion, is that someone? And then he goes, oh, I know who it is, Nicki Minaj. And I'm like, yes, that's right. Nicki Minaj is Stefon Diggs' girlfriend. And, in fact, it's Cardi B.
Yeah.
We left this interaction, Hutton. Two men in their early 40s, late 30s probably for him.
Sure of the fact.
Just positive that Nicki Minaj was with Stefon Diggs. And then I start doing my research for the show today, and I realize, it's Cardi B, actually. Do we know that Cardi B and Nicki Minaj are the same rapper, too?
They don't.
I'm not familiar with each of their catalogs.
See, here we go again. We're going to be like
I really don't know.
I remember them not liking each other. I assume they still don't.
They had beef?
Yeah, because they were so
similar
to each other.
Do you think that Cardi B now has beef with Stefon Diggs, given the video that has surfaced?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is what Fearbuck is saying. Like Cardi B's new boyfriend, Stefon Diggs, going viral for flirting with other women on the same boat that Cardi B was on. Where
is Cardi B when all this is going down?
Is it a boat or a yacht? We learned from Albert Hainsworth the difference between a boat and a yacht, 70 feet. Anything over 70 feet is a yacht.
I think this is probably a yacht.
You think a yacht?
I think it's a yacht.
You can't tell, right?
Did Cardi B know of the baggies that were being handed out? The little trick or treat, as I like to call it, right? Everybody got a treat. No tricks here. Everyone gets a treat. Come up to the back of the yacht, say trick or treat, and,
give me something good to eat.
Papa, Daddy Stefon has got a little treat for you.
Yeah.
Just don't do all this at one time.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
That to me
don't know what's in the baggies.
Stupidity is not surprising to me.
No.
But what's surprising is like looking directly at the camera, which Diggs does, and within earshot, you can hear what he's saying. Don't do all this at once.
Yeah.
And Chad, analyze. We had Adam in studio. Like, don't Google, but here it is. You could Google and find out like the recreational drugs and what could be in said baggies.
Tusi?
What did we find?
Tusi
pink dyed powder
is a recreational drug that contains a mixture of different psychoactive substances most commonly found in pink dyed powder known as pink cocaine. It is believed to have originated in Latin America. Shocking. Specifically Colombia around 2018. I'm reading this the whole time, and I'm looking at Dylan across from me, and he's just kind of quietly nodding along.
So
we've got the apothecary over here.
Is this the young?
It used to be Jacob Swanson. Now our new apothecary is Dylan, who's just nodding the whole time I'm describing Tusi. Like, oh yes, Latin America. Scholars argue more around 2017. It came out of Nicaragua. But 2018 is the more preferred line of thinking when it comes to Tusi.
Chad, everyone in here is considerably younger than us.
Yeah.
As we look behind the set, we have 4 that can. Is this like a line of demarcation as well, of like old versus young? If we know what
Tusi is,
the pink dyed powder is.
What is the?
All of you guys have seen pink dyed powder? Like I've never seen this.
Someone
until
back
today.
there's raising their hand, but I can't see which hand is being raised. Molly.
Tyler says he's too old.
The smartest one in the room right now is Molly, who's shaking her head no.
Okay, so 2.
Never seen
we have
pink
2
dyed
and 2.
Tyler raised his hand immediately. Like, oh yeah, just had a wedding, man. That's the old school reception party favor. We had that. We were just up to our ankles in pink dyed powder at the Tyler reception. I've never seen pink dyed powder.
Never seen
I've never heard of it. When I first saw the baggies, I just assumed it was a pink baggie that contained
that's what I thought.
cocaine,
as
they say in Walk Hard.
Michael Caine.
The Dewey Cox story. That's what I assumed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. No one really knows. There's no way to know for sure.
That's right.
But we've done our research as to what it
sugar.
could be.
Could have been the Himalayan salt for your margarita.
I don't think it's Fun Dip. I don't think they then started chewing gum with it or anything. What was it that Terry Bradshaw told Aaron Rodgers to chew bark?
Chew bark, yeah.
I don't think it was bark to chew on. So we can make our assumptions about what exactly was in the baggies. But I think Adam came up with a decent conclusion as to a possibility was Tusi, and then our apothecary is nodding along the entire time. Originated in Latin America.
So you're saying it's not the Himalayan,
all great things.
It's not Himalayan salt for your margarita.
No, not the Himalayan salt. It's not a bath salt. It's not something to make your bath extra, spicy. It definitely makes things spicy.
Oh man.
But not a bath salt.
So
I miss Jacob Swanson.
Jakob.
Jacob Swanson on a day like today could just give a dissertation.
We would know
on it.
So
it's like ketamine light is probably what he would say. It's a little bit of mix in between.
It's a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
So beneath the surface of all this is Mike Vrabel, who's now the new head coach in New England. That's where Diggs is now playing.
Vrabel does not seem like a Tusi kind of guy.
No.
He's more of a chain smoker type of guy.
Yeah.
Chain smoke and bourbon.
Yeah.
And not Tusi.
He can play the cigarette harmonica.
Yes, he could.
He's what he can do. Here's Mike Vrabel when asked about Diggs.
Stefon Diggs has gotten a lot of traction in the last 24 hours or so. He's on a boat, having a good time. But the question comes in as to a certain substance that people are guessing what is and isn't. Is this something that the team has to look into?
Well, it's something that we're aware of, and obviously we want to make great decisions on and off the field. And we're hoping that with our time here on the field today, and that when we don't have a script and we're on the call-up periods, that we're making great decisions. And so the message will be the same for all our players, that we're trying to make great decisions, and any conversations that I've had with Stefon will remain between him and I and the club.
Have you talked to him since the video?
I talk to our players every single day, the ones that are here and the ones that aren't.
Are you expecting him to practice today, Mike?
Not if he's not here.
So he's not here.
You guys will find out in a minute. But no, again.
He was here last week, according to a video.
Everything that we're going to do, Karen, is we're going to coach the guys that show up at 8. And the ones that say, hey, I got a situation, we'll be here at 8:05. We'll coach those as well. This is a voluntary part of our off-season program. And every player that's not here, which there aren't many, have been in communication with me and their position coaches.
I was just going to ask, based on what you've seen from the times he's been around, how would you say he's progressing?
Again, the timelines and the prognosis and everything again, we're working hard to get him back and to be ready to go. But when he's here, we'll coach him and we'll have everything ready to go.
So he's rehabbing an ACL. They should be back in time.
It could have just been medicine for that.
It happened in October of October of last season is when he went down. So he should be back in time for the season with the ACL recovery time. But that's what they're talking about with his timetable. Nonetheless, he's not going to be doing much at OTAs, I guess is what I'm saying. but he was there last week. It's funny that.
Do we know that reporter's name was Karen, or was he
It is
referring to Karen like in the derogatory sense? Well, no, Karen. He's not going to be practicing because you have to be here to practice.
No,
and he's clearly not here. He's on a boat in Miami.
She's been there for a long time with the Boston Globe or Herald.
So, on a serious note here.
Yes.
Mike Vrabel talking about having good judgment and making good decisions. That's what I can't get past with this. Like, it's not that Stefon Diggs, wide receiver number 1, star NFL player. I'm not outraged that he's on a boat partying with a bunch of young, attractive women. That does not surprise me at all. I think what surprises me is this is not some candid camera, someone unlawfully or unwilling on your part filming you or photographing you in a compromising position and then pushing it out to the media or pushing it out on social media. Like, this is like, we go back to the John Morant thing. Remember when he was like talking to the camera with guns?
Yes.
And doing something on the ATV and like, I'm going to post this. And then his buddy posted it. And I just kept coming back to, it's one thing to act a fool with your friends or to do that in some setting. And it does not surprise me that Stefon Diggs is doing that. Hutton, what does surprise me is that he clearly knows someone's got a phone out. In the angle it's at, where he's seated.
With what else is out.
Right. And he's breaking stuff out and handing out
Don't
party
do this all at
favors.
once.
Don't do it all at once. And I just, look, I'm not an agent for these guys or anything, but step one, like if you're going to go have a little downtime and you're going to go to a yacht in Miami, like there's a no phones policy on that. People are putting their phones up in a lockbox. And if you were so dumb as to sit there and hand out stuff to all these women while somebody is right next to you, clearly, like this is not being secretly recorded. No. He's looking around. There's someone with a phone out.
Someone who he trusts.
Yes. That has it out and then post it. That to me is just sort of the height of stupidity. That's more of that's not like, I'm not looking at Stefon Diggs like, oh man, the guy parties too much. He's not going to be able to contribute to the team. Right. I'm looking at Stefon Diggs like, boy, you're so dumb. I can't trust you as a valuable member of the team because this was such a bad judgment play to sit there on a boat and do this while you know someone's got their phone out filming.
Think about it too. So with Cardi B on the boat and you're dating her, I'm also thinking, well, I guess this person knows Cardi. I guess this person knows B. This is normal. I don't know. Like I'm thinking to myself, everyone on this boat can be trusted. No, the phones, no. Like I even go back to like the banana. Remember the banana boat with like Dwayne Wade
and Chris Bosh and LeBron James.
Yeah, like that.
Or was Chris Bosh on or someone else? LeBron James. Chris Paul.
It was Chris Paul.
That's it. Yeah,
like,
Chris Paul.
Put the phones away for that.
I think about the old big three of the Miami Heat. Yeah,
put the phones away for that too.
We'll just put them away in general. Like if I'm a high-priced talent like that, I'm like, look, here's the deal. We're going to have a fun day on this boat, but everybody's going to put their phones up, and we're not going to have photos. We're not going to post videos. We're not going to be filming anything that's going on. That's the deal.
There are two things that immediately I thought of, Chad, when I sent this to you. What was Monday? Everything popping off from the Memorial Day weekend. Number one, boats and hosts.
Yes.
And I've had that song stuck in my head. From you've got
Step Brothers, yeah.
And Prestige Worldwide. Number two is Isaiah Wilson.
The Nina, the Pinta, the
Santa Maria. Producing Quartz.
Yes.
So
Quartz were produced that day.
And also Isaiah Wilson. And for those that forget Isaiah Wilson, the worst draft pick in the history of draft picks. First round pick for the Tennessee Titans. And offensive lineman, there's the banana boat, by the way. We have to see this. Put the phones away.
And so that's Gabrielle Union on the front, right? Who's Chris Wade. Dwayne Wade's. I've got all the Chris's now mixed up. Dwayne Wade's wife is in the front of the boat. Look at the way LeBron is mounting the back of that banana boat with the butt out. That is how
he's riding the bull, man.
Like if I do a workout class, my trainer, anytime I like try to do the things we have to lower the bar to the ground, he's like, "Hey, push that butt back, get that butt all the way back, engage those hips, and go down, and don't do all back." I'm like, that is what LeBron's doing with that.
The
butt push back,
riding the banana boat, like the one that also you've got Chris Paul, who's just way too. The posture's just way too. He's stiff.
It also looks like The two guys that don't have the girl on the banana boat are trying to really flex that tricep and show their arms. And then Dwayne Wade's just like, I don't care. I've got Gabby Union up here up front. I'm good. I'm good, guys.
Here they are in motion on this banana boat. Do you think LeBron, he was able to scoot back right before this photo? That way he wasn't too close to.
Or maybe what we're seeing with his butt out is him trying to scoot out of the photo. He sees the paparazzi and he's like, I'm going to get out of this thing. What if he just bailed out? If it was mid bailout, just to get out of the picture?
I think he was riding it like that.
Oh man, he's in a real attack posture.
Yeah,
right. That's an aggressive banana boat posture.
The alpha position.
Have you ever ridden a banana boat before in the ocean?
Absolutely not.
I've been on one. It's terrifying.
This looks like a pool.
They get you pretty far out there, and when you fall off, it's like, man, sharks are circling. You're pretty far out there. You're going pretty fast.
There's the ocean, and then there's the pristine waters of wherever they were vacationing here. Looks like SeaWorld is where they were.
Yeah, it looks like they're in a tank too.
Yeah, but I mean that's
the backdrop behind them.
So crystal clear these waters are.
That's Shamu that's swimming next to them. They got the SeaWorld VIP package where they're actually in the water with all the sea creatures.
Oh.
They just take them to the sea creatures.
Even the ones that haven't been. The ones we don't even know about yet are in the water.
Oh, my gosh. What a classic photo.
Chad, briefly, Isaiah Wilson.
Yes.
So he's more or less kicked off the team.
We should come up with like a top 10 dumbest things being videoed or photographed when people knew they were being videoed or photographed. And this would make the list.
I think he was on a lake, but it's in the middle of the season because he was told just get out of the locker room.
Yeah, it wasn't even a bye week situation. It was right in the middle of games.
And instead of trying to salvage his rookie year and be a professional, he's on this lake with a bunch of women.
Yeah.
And I think there are photos and videos out for that too, but it's just idiotic. You have the moment where you're like, what is this guy thinking? It's Stefon Diggs too. All the talent. Remember him in Minnesota? It's always like 4 years. In the last two teams, he's just been in and out. Then it's Buffalo, Josh Allen. You can't ask for much more than playing with him. And then you have 1 year in Houston. Now he's with New England. So.
Well, and it's the law of diminishing returns with his relationship with teams and quarterbacks.
What do you think Vrabel's
Minnesota and Kirk Cousins, his time in Houston, and now he's got a contract that could pay him up to $65 million in this deal.
Yeah.
Again, you've got that sort of contract. Like, dude,
I know, man.
Have somebody that's a good enough friend that's on that boat that's like their sole responsibility is to not have anyone video our guy. Like, take phones away. I would have taken the phone and thrown it in the ocean. I'd have thrown it in the Atlantic Ocean had I seen it if I was his bodyguard, agent, someone.
The Derek Jeter approach.
Yes.
Phones at the door.
Gift baskets.
Phones at the door. Here's Isaiah Wilson.
Step one, gift baskets.
Here it is. This is, again, during the season. When told not to be in the locker room. We don't need you here. You're not going to be playing.
Is he wearing an Ewok around his neck?
No, that's a panda. He goes by the panda.
Oh, that's right. Panda. Okay.
And that's, it might as well be an Ewok, right? It's about the size of one. Spending all the diamonds.
And to accessorize here, this bikini this woman's wearing, it's a bikini, but it has space to put dollars on it? Or is that part of the actual swimsuit?
I think
Molly, you want to chime in on this one?
I think those were probably placed on her.
Do they have those at Target available for sale in the swimwear section?
Yeah, you can get that on Amazon.
That's the only place. Is it like a sticky swimsuit where you can paste $100 bills or dollars on it?
I don't know.
By the way, those are dollars. I'm pretty sure if you look at the bottom one,
it is.
Those are just single dollars.
Oh, there was tons.
Which makes this whole thing look even worse.
Look at all the. I mean, they're using dollars.
Here's a millionaire first-round pick, and it's dollars, not even 20s. That's on this woman.
Yeah. Well, there were $1 million in ones.
Yeah. How
on that
cheap
boat.
she must feel after this. Couldn't even spare a couple fives.
Tell you, man, the videos are crazy. Just like the video we saw with Stefon Diggs. Let's go back to 2017, shall we? Vikings teammate you'd least like to date your sister.
Dalvin, what guy on this team would you least like to
Dalvin
date your
Cook.
sister?
What the hell? Diggs.
Why Diggs?
Man. No. We're going to leave it like that. No.
Okay, what guy on this team would you let date your sister?
It ain't you, B-Rob. Don't know that right now. It ain't you.
That's fine because I'm actually married with 2 kids, so I'm unavailable.
They got to be out of Rudy or Thielen.
Rudy or Thielen? Why Rudy or Thielen?
They good guys, man.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Oh, Stefon Diggs.
Why Diggs?
He's crazy. He's just outrageous. Don't know what he's going to say. Just don't know what to expect every day. So he couldn't date my sister.
What guy on this team would you let date your sister?
Adam Thielen.
Why Adam?
I don't know. He's just a good guy. Same guy every day. You know what you'll get from him, so I ain't got nothing to worry about. If you give her a problem, I can just pull up.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
I think I'm going to have to go with you, B-Rob.
Why me?
Because we all know B-Rob, but most people don't know white chocolate.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Least like to date my sister, Diggs. 100%.
Why Diggs?
Because he's not a guy that you want to bring home to your parents. Like, you don't want your sister to bring him home to your parents, so therefore she can't date him.
What guy on this team
there he is.
Would you least like to date your sister? And I might add, you're starting to be the runaway favorite for this.
Would nobody want me to date his sister? I'm a great guy. I'm actually a great guy.
There's actually seems to be a few guys that don't think that.
Feel differently about me?
Yeah.
They just don't know me well enough. That's what it is. It's the all right, who don't I want to date my sister? Weatherly.
Why Weatherly?
Because he's ugly. I knew that was coming. That was the problem.
Wow.
There is.
So what matters to Stefon Diggs is that his sister dates a hot guy, apparently. I wouldn't want him dating my sister because he's ugly. That sounds like a guy that you wouldn't want to date your sister. By the way, kudos to the Minnesota Vikings for posting that video because as milquetoast as teams are with their coverage of themselves,
a long time ago, too.
I'm shocked that they allowed that thing to get through. That they're asking players, who would you least like to date your sister? And universally they're saying one guy, and they just post it?
Well, this is in the first contract of Diggs' career.
Yeah.
This is back in the day, too.
I would say those guys knew something, too. They definitely knew.
You think Vrabel and the Patriots know something? People are saying they're willing to bet that Diggs doesn't even play a single snap in a Patriots uniform. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
I can tell you this.
Who is Zach Bailey? Just someone, or is this somebody I should know?
Yeah.
Just somebody?
We got more. Here you go. Might have to take Stefon Diggs first overall in fantasy this year. Got to run like an antelope off the booger sugar. That another
his
response.
40 time is getting better. Am I the only person that thinks that Stefon Diggs' Coke and Hose video is cool? That from Doc Deluxe.
Quite the Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
For him.
I mean, you got to now parlay this into something, right?
I would just say this is wide receiver 1 behavior.
Yeah.
As long as he passes the drug test. That's what I was going to say. The random drug test during the season, but you're going to be tested automatically going into camp. And that was always the intelligence test for me, was whenever you could, if you smoked weed, you were going to get popped, you're going to be suspended. You knew you were going to be tested going into training camp. And then after that, you were not going to be tested if you passed that pot test.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to fail a test.
Okay.
It looked like he was handing that out and not keeping it for himself.
So he also knew not to do all of it at once.
Right, yeah. I'm not saying he would have passed the test 2 months ago. I'm saying I don't think he's going to fail the test coming up.
Now, so others are saying, like, this is wide receiver 1 material. The leadership qualities here. It's what you want.
Yeah.
In your wide receiver room.
He's really quarterbacking this thing. You know, not just wide receiver 1, but he's kind of the quarterback of this unit in the back of the eye.
I think what most are saying is that, hey, this is if you believe he's not going to play a snap, it's because he saw the video being recorded and then didn't do anything about it. That's because otherwise, I mean, there's no telling what Memorial Day weekend, what other teammates are doing or whatever. I mean, they're out there having fun on a boat. We're not against that. Really, the crux of this is he looks directly into the camera on the video.
Well, they're not going to play a snap thing. To me, that's just Mike Vrabel's going to make an example out of him.
Yeah, I don't.
Because there's like not, of the $65 million he could make, I think 20 of it's guaranteed, or maybe not even 20.
Well, I'm sure there's language in there about something like
correct.
We'll see.
And if they could get out of it, they will. So that's where they'll make an example.
That's right. Coming up, we have a discussion on Greg Sankey. And
the packet he gave out to the media.
The packet.
Showing how just awesome the SEC is and everything.
It wasn't pink, but it had a big logo on it.
And he did say, actually do all this at once.
Yeah,
all this material,
everything.
take it all down at once. You can consume all this material all at once, unlike those pink baggies.
It wasn't say you take, he says we will do it all. We will do all of this on our own.
Right. Unlike Tusi, you can do all this at once.
I do think there is a bluff in this game of poker. Even though Sankey's going to get what he wants, I hear a little bit of a bluff, and I'm going to call him out on it next here on Hot Mic.